All right, we are here with Drew Sloan, math teacher at the Dorman Freshman Campus in Roebuck, South Carolina. I'm completing my participating video for Lamar University, graduation in December of 2016. And I'm going to ask him a few questions about campus vision, just kind of pick his brain a little bit about what, from a math perspective and how things are done on this end of the school, and kind of what his ideas are about kind of how we communicate with the community, our campus vision, and how we communicate that to our staff as well. So, without further ado, we'll ask Mr. Sloan some questions here and see what he has to say. So, first question is, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
Well, I think they acknowledge it. They acknowledge the vision at Dorman Freshman Campus and Dorman High School just by being here. You can see it in the hallways, that everything's posted about what we can do in this school to prepare our students for higher education, and truly preparing them for college success, such as all the banners hanging around the school, the Cavs competition that we've created through Dorman Freshman Campus to show just freshmen and high schoolers the different college and university options you have in the state of South Carolina.
Yeah, that's one thing that we had a group that just won a field trip, put one in quotation marks. We had a contest with our Cavs classes, which is like our homeroom, and a group of students able to go to a local college and kind of tour that and see what college life is like. Just kind of tour campus, just kind of get them thinking about what their options are after high school. And that's one thing that, like Mr. Sloan mentioned, one of our ideas and one part of our vision is to kind of get them college and career ready by the time they leave here, and it starts here at the ninth grade campus. Which teachers do you think have a good idea of our campus vision, or kind of do the best job of implementing that?
I think that's a tough question. I think all the teachers understand what our vision is throughout the whole district, especially at Dorman Freshman Campus. I believe there are some that do better than others, and not because they are better teachers, but just because they may be more in love with their job than some other people. And there's just other aspects of it that involve that. Like Scott Taylor is a great project lead the way teacher, and myself being project lead the way certified, I've got to experience that, and it truly does. The students truly do benefit from taking courses like that because they get to collaborate so much, and it doesn't limit them using the curriculum inside these classrooms. It shows them where it can lead them outside the classroom, and that's what you want them to be prepared for, because college is going to take them such different ways. I think Josh Eskew does a very good job at Project Lead the Way that helps prepare them for college and career readiness. I also feel like Lois Ann Wright does a good job. As a school, I feel like we do a superb job. We're always going to have some weak links, but that's why we're here. We're here to improve not only on the students but on ourselves and how we can improve for them.
Okay. Let's kind of expand that out a little bit. We know everybody here at the school knows our campus vision. So how do you think that our campus vision and the contributions and achievements of it are kind of communicated to the parents and the community outside the school?
Well, I think how they have integrated some with the College and Career Readiness Center at the main campus with Eurodrive and their robotics department, I think that's a great way to communicate what we're trying to do here. I also think another way is all the different graduation options you have. If you choose to major in a career path that Dorman High School offers, that you get a cord. And I know that's something simple, but that's something that 10,000 people are going to see when you walk across the stage, and they're going to wonder, why does this person have a green cord and why does this person have a white cord? I think that's one way that we can recognize our students, but also inform the community of what we are doing at the same time.
Yeah, another thing, just kind of build off that, one thing we've done as a campus is like I said, college and career readiness. We have the dual enrollment classes for our juniors and seniors, and they're able to start earning college credits as a high school junior or senior, which is good because for a lot of them it may be their only college credits they've earned, or maybe the first group of students or first generation of students that has been able to earn a college credit in a particular family, or it may be maybe first generation to America in general. So that's just one way. Kind of have little mini majors, things like that, to be able to just motivate them. Just do little things. Like it's not much, but it's little things that are able to just kind of help them see that vision.
Well, Mr. Owens, if I could add, I think one part that is great that supports the college and career readiness is with them being able to get a small major in high school and not just, it gives them a dose of and shows them whether they be interested in it, versus taking the prereqs in high school, getting to Clemson University or South Carolina or wherever they choose to go and say, I want to be a civil engineer, and not know anything about civil engineering. It exposes them to them at an earlier age so they can make a more informed decision when it's time to pick where they want to go to school.
Yeah, and I can say that for my classroom as well. I teach a civics class, and you have kids that are making D's and F's that say they want to be lawyers. I mean, you just have to be realistic with them and say, maybe you can't be a lawyer, but maybe a paralegal, maybe something in the law industry may be an option. So just kind of get them thinking of outside the box of not just doctors and lawyers. There are other ways out there to be able to be successful and make money and things like that. So yeah, I think we can both agree that we do a good job of kind of getting that vision out there to the community and being able to communicate that to not just our staff but the students and the parents and all stakeholders involved. Okay, just kind of focusing back more on the school here. How do you think the campus uses innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision? I know you teach a Project Lead the Way class, which is more geared towards the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, more hands-on, more project-based, which is very good. That's kind of the next level I think the schools are going to. So how do you think we use innovative thinking and risk-taking here on our campus?
I think the administration team does a great job at allowing the teacher to be in control of their classroom, but also encouraging that teacher to expand their knowledge of teaching strategies. For example, this year you have to do so many project-based learning lessons, and I think that's good, and I know a lot of teachers can feel infringed upon when someone tells them how to teach, but I don't think it's the administration trying to overstep their bound. They just want to raise the bar of expectations because they know this generation of students is completely different than the generations of students that we had 10, 15, and 20 years ago, that direct instruction is not the only way these kids can learn because of how technology is changing the brains of this generation and how active their mind must be. Maybe them not being active, but their active mind.
Yeah, I can build off that as well. We our staff does a really good job of not being too involved in the classroom. Yes, they care about classroom management, they care about what you're doing in the classroom, but they do give the teachers a lot of freedom. That's something that when I'm an administrator, I would like to implement that as well. Kind of hire the best people, make your school the best it could be, and have the teachers be able to run the classroom and not be.
I think we got to remember that they're on the front lines every day, and you can't get in the middle of that. That they have to be there. I think you can tell them what direction you want them to go, and make sure they go that way. But you can't be in the middle telling them exactly step by step what to do.
Yeah, exactly. There's a fine line there, and I think our administration kind of leads by example. And our principal knows that he has hired a lot of good people here, and he thinks that he knows that he can trust them in their classroom and not have to kind of nitpick every little detail and just try to take over a classroom for them. They feel comfortable trying new things, learning new things, and being able to integrate new strategies that kind of meet the needs of a 21st century learner, which is, like Mr. Sloan said, a lot different than even when I was in high school 15 years ago. I mean, cell phones weren't around, Facebook, Instagram, all the stuff that is just commonplace now, wasn't even thought of. So now here we are trying to teach them when a lot of the kids know a lot more about technology than we do. So we have to make sure we kind of meet them where they are, kind of a little give and take between the teachers and the students as well. So just one last question, then we can share some other thoughts. So what processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus towards the realization of campus vision? So kind of how does the administration, how's our school kind of keep teacher morale up to make sure that they, like we talked about, kind of have the freedom to be able to try new things and learn new things in the classroom?
Well, I think one good way is they offer incentives. Before we had the CABS competition, we were asked, to brainstorm for ideas of what we could do to further the college and career vision that our school has. And that's when Ms. Crosley came up with the CABS competition idea, and they rewarded her with a $500 grant and an iPad or a tablet of some sort to use in her classroom, which I think I think that's a great way to improve morale, because you're using the strategies that your staff is coming up with and not just using your own. I think something else we do is the Blue Jean Friday, because that's something that all teachers look forward to, and it's a good cause that it raises money for a Day for Life, because there's so many people that work here who've been affected by cancer, and even students and even employees that we've had have had cancer here. So that always kind of unites us and brings us together. I think those would be the two I'd have that stick out in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, the Blue Jean Friday is kind of a dig deeper into that. I mean, I can tell just being a teacher here that it is nice to be able to put on a pair of comfortable jeans and a pair of tennis shoes on Friday, to be able just to kind of have that little bit extra to look forward to, because teaching can be mundane and you kind of get stuck in a rut sometimes. So kind of just little things to help mix it up a little bit. So just closing, do you have any other thoughts about our campus vision, kind of going forward? Kind of how can we improve it? What things are working, what things are not working, or do you think that we're doing a pretty good job in general here?
I think we're doing a good job. I think the question we need to ask ourselves is how we've got to somehow show a message that you don't have to go to a four-year university, that there are people out there who know a trade and know a skill that are just as successful as anyone else, but you have to have some sort of training, and it's either 2 or it's 4, and I think that's another message that we need to communicate across. But I think as we further the vision of college and career readiness, that's something that will develop along with it.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that 100%. Our R.D. Anderson, which is our Applied Technology Center, we have students who do co-ops as seniors in high school, and we need to kind of be focusing more on them and kind of showing the successes they've had, because we have some students that they don't go to a 4-year school, but they're still making